Hey guys, welcome back to the channel again. After a while, it's been a while since we have made a long video like this, but today we're going to give you a comprehensive look of, let's say, if I'm a new investor or I am a first-time home buyer, how I would approach given today's market, how I would approach that, how I'm going to generate the wealth for not only for next 5 years, next 20, 30 years. And this formula is super simple. I'm gonna break it down by giving you examples of the property, how you can do it as well, and it's very replicable. Like regardless of any market that you survive in, all you have to do is just stick to the fundamentals of this market. And I'm not gonna talk about just the fundamental, but I'm gonna show you how to follow those fundamentals. And there are two cities we're gonna take example are the one cities that we kind of work most in, which is Kitchener and London. So one property would be for a first time buyer ideal situation where you can live in one unit, one floor, and you can rent out the basement. And then the second example is a pure investor your house where you buy, you renovate it, either you go for refinance or you sell it, that kind of scenario in the London property. So both examples are very similar in a way, but it'll give you a very comprehensive look of how you should plan yourself when it comes to making entering today's market, be as an investor or a first time home buyer. I wish someone would have kind of given me this kind of tour when I was starting, but here it is. Hopefully this will help someone more than it helped me. So we're gonna get started with it. And yeah, before we get on to that, you need to make sure you subscribe, like, whatever, share it with everyone. Okay, so now this is one of the properties in Kitchener. It's like a nice raised bungalow where you have one part of the house where the bedrooms are. It's kind of raised above the ground, few stairs, and then you have a nice living room, separate living space in this area. So first we'll look at the house as it is. So one car garage. You have nice driveway parking as well. So if you are someone who has two cars, there's plenty of parking out there for you. It's a nice neighborhood, good family neighborhood, growing neighborhood, big lot size. So that's another advantage because ADUs are becoming very important nowadays with especially the new mortgage rules where the government is now giving you allowing you to refinance your house in a way where you can use those funds towards building a basement unit or a ADU as well. So that kind of gives you access to a lot of funding that we never had when we started, in order to kind of, but at the same time doesn't mean you're getting the money. You need to know what to do with that money before you even think about taking that loan for building these basements. Does it make sense to the property that you want to live in? So if you are someone who wants to buy a fancy house as your first house, I don't think this is the video for you. But if you are someone who really want to understand the fundamentals of real estate and want to use the real estate as a tool to that financial freedom, to wealth generation, not only for yourself but your for coming generations as well, then this video kind of gives you a good insight on how to kind of go about that profiling. So in this house, as you would see, like this is the outside picture, this is inside. So inside kind of needs some work, probably painting. This wallpaper, we can get rid of those. Flooring seems to be okay here. Nice, good living space. This is your living space. Then beside it is a dining space right here, and it's the kitchen part. We'll see more pictures. This is the kitchen area. Kitchen can be upgraded if it's not something up to your taste. You kind of get it upgraded. I'll give you a cost breakdown as well, roughly how much, given today's market, how much it's going to cost you to kind of get those improvement done in the house. So that's a current like kitchen area, dining space. And this is another this is your second living area, or you could say it, but it kind of exits you out to the backyard as well. And this is very important part. So this living area is an important part of what we are trying to do with this house from the future perspective. So now you go towards, so this is again the same different angle. So this is the bathroom here in this house. So this house has two bathrooms, three bedroom, and basement which is half finished. So it's like a half of it is finished, rest of it needs work. There's a master bedroom, secondary bedrooms, decent size, pretty much everything. This is the basement. So this is the basement which is kind of finished part of the basement, and then you have the unfinished part of the basement. So I have seen this house, so that's why I'm kind of taking this example, because I've seen it in person, so I kind of know it. You have this separate entrance for the through the garage for the basement if you want to do that, or there is another one that we can use is at a walkout exit from the basement. So this is that secondary like the living room that I was showing, that you exits into the backyard. So this can be used as that walkout exit of that basement unit that I'm going to discuss here, how we're going to build it in this house. So this is kind of the backyard area, again big size backyard, so you have that potential to do ADU in future if you want to explore that opportunity in there. But if this house kind of ends on, there is a big city park behind it, so you kind of get a ton of space if you are someone who wants to go out for a jog or run whatever area. So okay, so this is the living this is kind of the layout of the house. You have the kitchen, you have the living room, you have the family room, then you have that additional living room that I was talking about. You have the garage, and then that's the bedrooms, so 3 bedroom, 1 bath. And then this is the basement structure. So this is your storage area in the basement, or you can call it crawl space, but it's still decent enough that you can kind of stand in there. You don't have to bend all the way around. Rec room, utility room. So kind of plan with this house is it's mostly the upstairs. You're gonna think it's gonna stay as it is. You can paint it, don't want to spend a lot of money into it. Maybe do some work in kitchen to kind of get it up to your taste. Maybe some work in bathroom as well, but I wouldn't spend more than 15K upstairs to kind of bring it up to speed, to kind of, because at the end of the day this is your first home, not your final home. So you just want to get it ready so you can live here easily for a few years, and don't want to spend a lot of money at least when you get the house. So you just want to get some cosmetic work done in the upstairs unit, then you go towards the basement. So now the main feature here in the basement area is you have the rec room and you have the utility area. So utility area, your furnace is in one corner, so you have ton of space here. So what I would do is I would kind of get 1 bedroom approval here from the city, from the layout. So 1 bedroom approval here, and then you have the kitchen and the bathroom in this area. You don't have to build super fancy, make sure there's proper spacing there, but we just have to have something which kind of goods enough for the, from a tenant perspective. And then what we will do here is, if you see, this is your garage area. This is that second living space, or the family room that I was talking about, opens into the basement. And so this is on the like kind of main floor, and this is your basement exit entrance from here. So what we'll do is we'll use the we'll close it over here. So this second bathroom will become part of the main unit. So you kind of close it down at here, you put a door here, a fire safe door probably if you go for the legal unit. And then you have this basement underneath area over here in the basement. And then you kind of go about use this second family room as a part of your basement, because now you got to give it a separate entrance as well, which you have a walkout entrance here. You close this area as well, so kitchen kind of closed up from this side. You only have access from this side now to the main house, to the kitchen area and everything. You can keep another door here, but then this family room now becomes part of that new basement that you want to get the permit for. So then they have their nice big family room. They have your proper 1 bedroom, bathroom, kitchen in the basement area, and the height has no problem. That has already been verified. Kind of gives you an example. So basically you get a 1 bedroom or up to 2 bedroom approval on this basement, and you can live upstairs. Given how the mortgage rates are dropping nowadays, so you should be, this basement should be able to give you anywhere around 1800 to 2100 per month, which will be more than enough to cover majority of your mortgage. This house is roughly around 650,000 value in today's market. So if you kind of do the numbers on that, that's kind of pretty much cover more than half of your mortgage cost. So you kind of live in a house, and plus you have done so much improvement in the house. For take improvements in a way where every let's say you are spending on this house around let's say you spend around overall like $40,000 on this house in terms of improvement, it will give you appreciation of 80 grand. So kind of double the appreciation. So every money that you put into this house towards the improvement, it's actually giving you double the return in terms of valuation of the house, the value increase that you are doing to the house. It's called force appreciation regardless of market. Now you have moved your house value from 650 that you bought it at by spending 600, so your in pocket cost is, let's say, 700, but now your house is worth at least 750. So that's the approach I would take. So now it safeguards you from the market condition. No matter what happened next year, you are safeguarded again. Second, you have given yourself that opportunity to have that second income. Kind of gives you a flexibility in terms of, so that way, let's say if it's a husband and wife living in the house, one of them doesn't want to continue their job or want to try some other one, like there is, if one person earns good enough money, you should be able to pay all your expenses for the house, since majority of your mortgage cost is covered by the basement person. So that's the approach I would take if I would be starting out as a first time home buyer, where I'm going to be living in the house. Again, this is not a investor type. I kind of designed this example as per the, that hey, this is if I'm a first time home buyer, and along with a in-law suite or a secondary basement that I want to utilize, that's the kind of a house I would buy. The price range would be in Kitchener area, you want to buy it in around 650 range, and then you put some money into it, that 30-40 grand kind of generates that legal basement in it. Value of your house goes up, and on top of it, you have the like a strong rental income that's come from your house, kind of gives helps you out, act as a basically a mortgage helper for yourself. So that would be the idea that would be the approach that I would take, given today's market, that hey, this is how I would kind of frame it up, like this is how I would make a deal, or this is how I would look at from that point of view, where hey, I want to buy a house, but I wouldn't want to buy a house where I don't have opportunity to get my basement legalized and eventually rent it out. Plus, even though you have rented out your space and kind of given up some part of your living room as well, but you still have a plenty of space for yourself in the house. It's not like you're compromising on any of your luxuries of living in the house. You still have your nice family space, you have your living space, you have, only thing you compromise is does your access to the backyard. But if you want to keep that area, that family area to yourself, you can give them separate entrance through the garage as well. So that's option is also available. If you want to give that separate entrance to the basement people through the garage, you can do that as well. You just have to kind of follow the city guidelines of minimum width for the exit that you need. But if you want to do that, that option is, but overall the fundamentals here is like you buy a house where you can live in one unit, you can build that basement in there, and then have that basement generate cover majority of your mortgage cost, and that way you can live a lot less like a lot stress free compared to worrying about the paying the entire mortgage cost. And even though the interest rates are coming down, I think this formula is always a hit. This is kind of, it's your typical house hacking, but you don't have to kind of go over the top for to make that house hacking work. The best part about it is you're not buying a finished product, you're buying a product which needs some work, and you're putting that work. Not now you increase the value of your existing home. You can also do a refinance play now within 6 months as well of buying it. Once your basement is fully done, you have it rented out, you go back to your bank and then refi it. Now maybe start looking into building an ADU there or buying another property. So like, within 6 months, not only you get your own home, you have increased the value of your home, and now you are in a position where you are refinancing and going for another another property. So basically the exact same formula, keep repeating it every 6 months. If not, some people 6 months is probably not feasible, maybe try, like your goal should be buying one property every year. So this is kind of your first step. You get yourself a home, and then after that you go into that investment strategy that we're going to talk in our next video, where how do you buy investment property, what kind of property you should buy, and how do you go about renovation on those properties. So yeah, that's kind of the overall. But if you still have some questions about this process, how it will play out in the real life scenario, but this is a very real life scenario. This listing is probably live right now in the market. But at the end of the day, that's kind of the point of this video, is kind of show you how step by step you should go about it. Buying a property like that, kind of make sure you do your due diligence, that hey, the house that you're buying, is the basement, how feasible is that basement to convert into a legal unit. I have done it so many times, so I can walk into the basement and tell you with a pretty good certainty how much it's going to cost you and how long is it going to take to convert that unit into it, or is it even worth doing that as well. A lot of unit is just not even worth it to do the basement given the price range you buy at. So again, the buying price, the price at which you buy the property also plays a big factor in this entire process. So that way, when you do some of those value adds, you're getting a big return at the end of it. Not only in terms of the value of the house goes up, but also from a perspective of refinancing that house as well. Again, yeah, so stay within your boundaries, but that's how you kind of do it. If I have to redo my first home buying experience, this is how I would exactly do it. Okay, thank you. I'll see you in the next video.